But in 2007, police seized 4,900 firearms across the UK. CO19 alone are taking in hundreds of guns every year.
In these boxes we've got roughly a month's worth of firearms that have been seized off the streets of London. 400 firearms per month. It's an incredible statistic. This is basically a version of an AK-47. You'll empty this magazine in full auto mode in a couple of seconds. 300 to 400 a minute. In a crowded environment, that would be absolutely deadly. This is a 9mm Uzi submachine gun. Again, it's an extremely dangerous firearm. Extremely effective at close range and extremely dangerous. Various pistols here. The whole point of carrying a pistol around is it's light, concealable, and you know, it's got a decent rate of firepower. Got shotguns. They've all been shortened to some degree. You can much more easily conceal this. Very, very powerful, very versatile, very reliable. Extremely dangerous pieces of kit.
None of these weapons were handed in as part of an amnesty.
This is only 1 month's worth. We get this every single month, and this is just the ones that we're seizing. It certainly focuses our minds as to the sort of quantity and quality of firearms that are out and about there.
The police are forced to every day.
It's totally out of control.
This police officer, who feared he'd lose his job for speaking out, asked to remain anonymous. He said for the first time ever, bobbies are carrying firearms, but they're still outgunned by criminals who can buy whatever they want on the black market.
Every officer now in this country gets issued with body armour. When I joined the police service back in the 80s, we didn't have any of this. We had a wooden truncheon and a set of chain link handcuffs. The firearms laws have been tightened up since. Why do we still need this equipment? Simply because the criminals have the weapons and they're prepared to use them.
Gun policy's gone tragically wrong, and police morale at an all-time low.
I feel let down by the politicians, by the senior management in the police, and I feel at present I cannot give the public the service they demand and expect.
And as this officer made very clear, it's a law built on a lie.
The politicians, basically, they have misled the public. They said, if we ban handguns, the country's going to be a safer place. They ban the handguns, the country is not a safer place. Why are British people not to be trusted? And I think that says a lot about the government.
Citizens left defenseless, now victims of the very laws passed to protect them.
You don't need to know anything about guns to know that these are the spent cartridge cases of bullets. Greater Manchester Police say that 24 shots were sprayed against the wall of this derelict nightclub. The building used to be known as Benny's Nightclub off Radcliffe Road in Bury. Shots were heard at about 8 o'clock on Saturday night in an area that's popular with walkers, joggers and cyclists. I don't know if you're aware, there's been a machine gun fired here.
No, didn't know that.
Does it shock you, seeing something like this?
It does, yeah.
To give you a clue as to just how powerful this gun was, take a look at the depth of this bullet hole. This man, who didn't want to be identified, heard the disturbance.
We heard it. We heard the guns, and then the police just come down.
Could you describe the noise?
Well, it's like a battlefield.
Police recovered 18 bullet casings from the scene, but a further 5 were discovered this morning. Detectives believe that 2 cars were present when the shots were fired on Saturday, and they're appealing to anyone with information to get in touch. Detective Inspector Lynn Verron of Greater Manchester Police said incidents like this one were almost unheard of. She said nobody was injured and police were doing everything they could to trace the gun, reported to be an AK-47 assault rifle, and take it off the streets. The fact that this incident has happened is worrying enough, but what's bothering Greater Manchester Police even more is what might this gun be used for next. I'm Kevin Duffy for Channel M News.
29-year-old Craig Hodson Walker was a pillar of the local community. He and his parents had just won an award for running one of the best managed post offices in the Midlands. But Craig was shot dead doing the job he loved. His father, Ken Hodson Walker, is in hospital after he was shot in the leg. It's thought the three men travelled to the scene in a silver VW Golf, registration W337DDN. Police believe the car may have been stuck in traffic on the Stourbridge Road Island at the junction with the A491, just a few hundred metres from Fairfield Stores, where the robbery occurred at around 8:20. Afterwards, the getaway car was found abandoned in nearby Bourneheath Road. Fairfield is a quiet village with a close-knit community. Local people still can't quite believe what's happened. West Mercia police say as part of their investigation they will be considering possible links to other raids in the area in the recent past. And they're reiterating that the offenders are dangerous and must not be approached.
Citizens defying the law because they no longer trust the government that passed it or the police now ordered to enforce it.
As a police officer, my primary focus is to be in harmony with the public. And this law puts me at disharmony with the general public.
Ryan, you're under arrest. Put your hands back.
Constable Murray Grismer, a 13-year police veteran, calls C-68 a financial, unenforceable fraud, knowing the $200 million spent so far will take beat cops off the street, but it will never take guns away from criminals.
I don't believe for 1 minute that our criminals will go and register their guns, and the guns will still be out on the street.
The cops aren't going to know where the bad guys keep their guns.
A harsh reality anti-gun politicians choose to ignore. But an ex-con and government informant we talk with knows C-68 won't stop criminals who work the streets.
It's an opportunity crime, and they're going to continue doing it. And the carjackings are going to increase here. They already have. Home invasion, personal violent crime, ATMs. You ask any street cop out there, he'll tell you the same thing. You're taking the guns away from the honest people, and you're making it easier for the criminals to do the job.
I could get you a gun right now in 20 minutes if you give me 50 bucks. I'd go buy a shotgun with a phone call.
How are you going to stop somebody that's got it in his mind that he's going to commit a crime? What are you going to do, legislate them into morality? They're laughing.